What up guys, it's your boy Williams Fitness back with another video. Now what I want to touch on is basically everything that's happened since the last Mr. Olympia. So I want to cover the rise and the fall of bodybuilding. And what I mean by that is I'm going to start way back in 2018 when obviously Phil Heath had made what I'd call a comeback after the whole bubble gut scenario. He was called out very publicly by Louis Marco. They went back and forth, argued. Phil won in 2017. So he made his comeback in 2018. And there was a heated press conference between him and Sean Roden. They went back and forth. Sean basically said, "You talk's cheap. Let's see what you got on stage." And lo and behold, Sean wins. So moving on from then, Big Ramy obviously didn't place as high as we thought he would. There was a lot of mystery around Big Ramy because obviously the pictures were coming late out of oxygen. No one knew what he actually looked like. Was he going to bring it? And there was this whole rivalry between him and Phil, which never really worked. And other than 2018, there was just no comparison. Phil absolutely destroyed him. Ramy made a big public apology, which he didn't need to do. And then obviously Ramy joined Neil Hill at the beginning of the year, and I do want to bring this up for the simple reason Big Ramy was not with Neil Hill for very long. They went their separate ways. I presume it was a very amicable split. There was no rants on Instagram, nothing degrading was said. They just went their separate ways, and that's worrying for Big Ramy because he doesn't seem to be sticking to coaches for very long. And that was where the year started to just unfold into what I can only imagine was just shit. So then moving on from that, obviously, you know, him and Neil went their separate ways. And then obviously everything exploded with the whole Sean Roden being accused of rape. And obviously there was a lot of things going back and forth throughout the year. Nothing to do with Sean, but with regards to Jeremy Buendia. Now, Jeremy Buendia is a men's physique 4 times Mr. Olympia champion. There was so many people coming out of the woodwork. Speaking to Kenny KO, is another partner like myself with Generation 9. He's a content partner. And he covered so many different topics with regards to Jeremy Buendia, and there was just so many different stories that were coming out of the woodwork, photos, pictures, and again, he was a previous 4-time Mr. Olympia champion. We've got obviously the current Mr. Olympia champion accused of, you know, a sexual assault, I say allegedly, and then we go from that straight to William Bonac. William Bonac publicly names, shames and sacks Neil Hill. Now obviously there was 2 sides to this story, and it didn't do anything for bodybuilding whatsoever. It opened a topic of conversation with regards to coaches and contracts. Then a few days later from that, Josh Lenartwick announces that he's not going to be at the 2019 Mr. Olympia due to potential health reasons. Didn't state what the reasons were, just went on to say, you know, I'm not going to be there. And that was basically it. Then we have the EVLS Prague gets cancelled. We know that their headliner would have been Sean Roden. He was scheduled to be there with the likes of Rolly Winkler, Lucas Osladil. There was some big names that were going to be doing seminars. Kevin Levrone, Jay Cutler, Dorian Yates should have been there. So it's all just gone to absolute shit. Everybody's still going back and forth with who the Mr. Olympia is going to be this year. We've lost Phil Heath. We've lost Big Ramy. We've lost the current Mr. Olympia, Sean Roden. We've got 2 past Mr. Olympias from obviously Men's Physique and the Open accused of assaulting women and sexually assaulting allegedly on both parts. It's just all gone a mess. I mean, comment below, guys. Is this the worst year in bodybuilding history ever? I've been me, you've been you. Peace.